Well, a good Sunday afternoon to you. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso, and we're going to take a quick dive into your forecast because we have some big changes ahead. A lot of people talking about it. Yes, because we have dry air. It's going to be moving in, maybe some cooler mornings. Yes, cooler mornings for us here along the Gulf Coast. It's going to be a big change for us, so we're excited for it. I have my phone here. If you're watching, give us a comment, and thank you for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon. So it's a little hot out there right now. It is 90 degrees right now in Mobile, and we're waiting for that wind to really turn out of the north. You can see the flags moving there, and I think we are getting a little bit of a northerly wind. We'll look at that in a minute, but some big changes. Right now, the dew point is 68. It's beginning to drop. It's going to drop even further as we go through time, and in fact, we will get down into the 50s for our dew point. It's going to feel really nice, really dry out there, but right now it feels like 94 degrees, still a hot one out there for sure across the area. Switching gears here, so there's Mobile. Looks a beautiful day, of course, with the partly sunny skies, of course. Taking a look across the bay in Daphne, 86 degrees there, still feeling like 90, so a little bit hot. But not too bad. That dew point a little higher there at 70 degrees. We're waiting for that dryness to come our way. I'm going to take a look at the radar. We have the possibility of some spotty showers, and here they are in the Florida Panhandle here. The far eastern portions of Okaloosa County. We'll zoom into it for you. So kind of near Destin, kind of near Niceville there. Fort Walton Beach, we've had these showers. They're drifting off to the east very slowly, but they have been raining themselves out, and we have the possibility for these spotty storms. So if you're on the beaches, or you know somebody on the beaches in Destin, you might get a little bit of rain in the next little while. In fact, if I put this into motion over the last hour or so, we can see that, yes, we have had these storms that are drifting off to the south and east. So some of our beach areas there in Destin will be getting some rain very soon. Same thing there in Fort Walton Beach, even though it looks like in Fort Walton Beach, I think kind of just off to the east there, right near the bridge getting into Destin there. So that's pretty much the only thing on the radar. And elsewhere, we are clear. All that green you see is actually ground clutter. We've had a big ground clutter thing over the past couple of days. The radar beam being bent and picking up the kind of ground, really. All it is the radar beam reflecting off the ground. So no precipitation there. It's just something that happens every once in a while, especially when we kind of get changes of air mass. So current temperatures, we're in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees across the entire viewing area. 84 Bay Minette, 86 Fairhope, 90 in Gulf Shores. But air mass change, yes. We have dry air that is going to be moving in. We can see it here in the dew points. Taking a look, you can see in Jackson that dew point of 52. And you see all these kind of drier looking colors. That's the dry air that's going to be moving our way. You can see it already starting to drop, the dew point in Mobile at 64 degrees. And as we head over the next few hours, the dew point will continue to drop. In fact, it's going to be in a really comfortable category, getting into the 50s as we head later into the day today. All of this thanks to a front that is making its way across the area. A little hard to tell exactly where the front is right now. We have northerly wind throughout most of the area right now, some spotty cumulus clouds around, but the drier air hanging back just a little bit. So it's going to take a little while for that dry air to really get through, push through the area, and once it does, it's going to feel just a lot better outside. You can see that wind right now from Mobile Regional at 12 miles per hour to the north. So we are getting that northerly breeze now, and it might feel a little bit better thanks to that northerly breeze out there, kind of out of the north and northwest there. I think as we head into this evening, once we get drier, and once that dry air really mixes in, it'll feel quite great. So as we can see, temperatures will be dropping. Not a ton, but a little bit. So we get into the 80s, low 80s by the time we get towards sunset. And then we drop into the upper 70s, middle 70s by 9 p.m. Sky is clearing, and I think that's when it starts to feel really quite good outside, really with that dry air. And overnight tonight, take a look at these temperatures. So we have 70s dropping into the 60s. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we are in the middle 60s, at least in Mobile. So that's going to feel quite a bit different compared to what we've seen previously with the muggy mornings. That's going to be the change. In fact, you can see it. Lower 60s, possibly some of our cool spots. Getting into the upper 50s. Yes, the upper 50s for tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning around sunrise when the lowest temperature will be. And looking over the next few days, Tuesday morning getting down to 63 degrees, possibly in Mobile, and kind of around that range across the area. Once again, we could see those 50s far inland, upper 50s. I'm talking 59, but still, it's cool to say 50s here in September. But look at those afternoon temperatures. Yes, those afternoon temperatures sticking right around 90 degrees, so it's still going to be a little bit hot in the afternoons, but not that bad thanks to the lower humidity. Now, one thing you might also notice how low the rain chances are over the next 5 days. In fact, over the next 7 days, no significant rain chances for the area. And that's a bit of a problem because we are in drought here along the Gulf Coast. So we have extreme drought, especially off to our west. And then off to our east, it gets a little bit better, but at least in moderate drought for pretty much the entire Fox 10 viewing area. So not the best situation there. And really, when you look at the 10-day outlook, you can see that no real significant rain chances throughout the entire thing. So it's kind of a give and take for us, really, because we get the cooler morning temperatures, but we get no real rain, and kind of giving perspective on where we are at this point in the year. We're getting into kind of the middle of September, the back half of September. And remember, October is actually our typically dry period here along the Gulf Coast. We normally are quite dry in October, and based on the way the drought monitor is now, it does look like that is going to continue, or we're having a dry spell. We'll see if we get any rain chances kind of in the extended outlook beyond 10 days. But that's kind of remains to be seen. It's a little too far out for us to tell right now. But the thing is, as you can see, no real significant rain chances over the next 10 days in our area. So that's kind of the give and take. Of course, you get the lower humidity and nicer mornings, but staying quite dry over the next 10 days. Now I want to take you to the tropics, where now Lee and Margot have gone post-tropical. So Margot no longer a tropical storm. Those are on their way out, and Lee is racing off to the north, and Margot is still just looping around in the Atlantic. But look to the south and west of Margot, you have Nigel that is developing right now, strengthening in the middle of the Atlantic as it moves north and west. Also, we have an area over the next 7 days as a chance for development. That thing is going to move off of Africa in the coming days, and we have plenty of time to watch that. We're going to start off with Tropical Storm Nigel, a strengthening tropical storm with winds of 60 miles per hour. That pressure has been steadily dropping. Earlier this morning, it was around 1,000 millibars. Now it's at 997. That is the sign of a strengthening storm, even though gradual strengthening with this, moving to the north-northwest at 13 miles per hour. So that's kind of tracking it into the middle of the Atlantic. And looking at the forecast path, you can see it is really in the middle of the Atlantic. But look at the strength. We do have a strengthening storm, likely to become a hurricane, likely to possible to become a major hurricane by the time we get towards Tuesday. That's a Category 3 Tuesday afternoon and evening there, as it's making a right turn off to the north and east away from Bermuda. So early on, we were thinking, oh, could this thing impact Bermuda? Well, now the model guidance is indicating that it does take a turn. And here is some of that model guidance. This is with the GFS. You can see this is Tropical Storm Nigel strengthening there in the middle of the Atlantic, taking this to Wednesday. That was the point kind of where it was strengthening possibly into a major hurricane, and you can see it's starting to curve out to sea there, and that's pretty much it for Nigel. It's going to race off to the north after that by the end of the week. So what about our area coming off of Africa? Well, you can see the big clouds over Africa right now, those bright colors indicating strong thunderstorms and big cold cloud tops, typically associated with those strong thunderstorms. This thing is going to move off Africa in the coming days, and yes, it has that chance for development. A little too early to tell exactly what's going to happen with it, and it is very, very far out there. In fact, you see that 0 in the next 2 days because there's nothing there right now. It hasn't even come off the coast of Africa. So we have plenty of time to watch it. Of course, right now, the National Hurricane Center giving it a 40% chance of development in the next 7 days. We will always keep you updated here at Fox 10 News, giving you the latest on the tropics as they develop. Let's take a look at our weather headlines, kind of recapping what's going on right now. So drier air is the story. Yes, so drier air moving in. Cooler morning, something to be excited about. Refreshing feeling air in our morning hours, but the afternoon's still hot, around 90 degrees. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook. We can see mostly clear conditions for Monday and Tuesday, that high temperature around 90 degrees. But that Tuesday morning temperature around 63, feeling beautiful, feeling refreshing. Now we get a little bit of a return of moisture towards the back half of the forecast, so I think it feels just slightly more muggy, especially Thursday and Friday. Maybe we get a little bit of a reinforcing shot and see the morning lows dropping back down just a smidge, back down to 65, 66 in that extended outlook all the way towards next weekend. But no real changes in the forecast for the next 7 or 10 days. It's a simple one, staying mostly dry with the temperatures in the afternoon around 90 degrees and then a few refreshing mornings out there. That's the forecast update for you this afternoon. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Urboso. Meteorologist Matt Barentine will be in tonight to give you the latest on this Sunday evening newscast, and I'm going to be getting out of here very soon. I was with you all Saturday evening and then Sunday morning as well, and keeping track of this very simple but kind of exciting forecast for us. We're excited to see some nicer mornings ahead along the Gulf Coast. I'll leave you with the 7-day outlook once again. Thank you for joining us here on our live forecast update.